Hey there, it's me again. I told you I'd be back with part two of the Samoa's Girl Scout pie recipe. Last night I made the actual pie. It's a lovely natural alternative to Girl Scout cookies, which are in season right now. But I didn't finish it because I had to let it sit in the freezer for at least 4 hours, which I did. So I brought it out this morning and stuck it on the counter, and it's been, thawing out a little bit because it was obviously rock hard solid. But now it is time to make the chocolate sauce. And I said make the chocolate sauce because last night what I did was I was kind of tired and being lazy, and I said that I was going to just heat some of this up, the lovely chocty sauce. It's actually a spread from Fourth and Heart Company. It's a chocolate ghee spread. It's frickin' amazingly delicious. And it has passion fruit, dates, and cacao. So I could have done that, heated it up and drizzled it over the pie. But I said, no way, man, screw that. I'm gonna make a homemade chocolate sauce. So I pulled up a chocolate sauce recipe online, and I'm gonna use it. But then I thought, you know what, Patricia, you are just loving your experience of yourself in the kitchen, and you find that that's where you tap into your creative juices, being in the kitchen cooking, and obviously writing for me is where I tap into my juices. So I thought, how are you going to tap into your creative juices in your kitchen if you're following somebody else's recipe? So I'm going to follow the basic recipe, and then I'm going to tweak a little bit, add a couple things. So hang out with me. Let me show you real quick this pie. See that? Yeah, it's lovely. It's set very beautifully, and it's still really cold. So I can leave it on the counter. In fact, I'm going to leave it back here for now. And then in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around here and face my kitchen ingredients, cooking ingredients. I'm going to bring the camera over and I'm going to set it down. And then I want to show you a couple things, okay? And please bear with me here. I get so excited. I was really excited before I started making this little video. And as I was putting my ingredients on the counters, and I look at both of them, and I'll show you why in a minute. I even said, oh, I'm so excited. Why? Because I get to show you how I'm going to make some chocolate sauce that I'm going to drizzle over that pie. And then in addition to that, I'm excited about sharing that with you. I'm also going to show you how to make my version of homemade guacamole. So for those of you like Mexican food and guacamole, I'm going to show you how I make mine. It's very easy, and I can make it while the chocolate sauce is setting. So the first ingredient is cocoa powder. It says in a cold saucepan. So my saucepan, believe it or not, is cold. Ooh, yeah, it's cold. And how did I make it cold? Well, I stuck it in the fridge, and I thought, that'll work, but better yet, let's put some good clean water in it and then stick it in the fridge, because the water will get cold and it'll keep the rest of it colder at a deeper level. So kind of like when I get out of the hot sauna and jump into the snow, kind of, but not really. Anyway, so here's a cold saucepan. Don't ask me why. I guess it has to do with the tempering of the chocolate or something for those home chefs and pro chefs out there. I don't know. If you know, let me know. Send me a message, would you? So anyway, so I need to mix the cacao and the sugar. Okay, I cut this recipe in half, and then in addition to cutting it in half, I already decided that I was still going to do less sugar than is required because I don't like a lot of sugar, like I said last night. So first of all, let's start with the quarter cup there of delicious organic fair trade cacao. Stick that off to the side here. And this time I'm going to get the bag away from my eyes. See the poof? There's a poof of cacao dust came out. I did that last night and it got in my eye. Ah! Anyway, didn't last too long. So sugar. I have some organic cane sugar from Whole Foods. This is an old bag, but it'll work. Oh yeah, it's really old. It dates back to 2015, but I'm sure it's fine. It's just a sweetener. It's not like it's gonna go bad. It says 1/2 cup. Oh, that's a lot of sugar, but I'm not gonna use it all. I'm not gonna use 1/2 cup. Probably about 1/4 cup, which is still a lot for me. And if it's too much, then I can throw it all away. No. Then I can, or if it's not enough, I can play with it that way. Add maybe a little more chocolate. So anyway, it says to add the cacao and sugar. Interesting. And I'm just speaking to myself here. So I added it into my saucepan right there. And then it says to whisk it. Okay, so I'm whisking it. This is what it's like. This is a whisk, a cooking utensil. It's kind of like a hand mixer kind of. So it says to whisk it. No, it's not on the heat, but it just says to whisk it together until all the lumps are removed. So you have it all a nice even sauce. That looks pretty good. I don't know if you can see it in there. Let me bring the camera up a little bit. Yeah, see, so I'm just whisking it around, making sure there are no lumps. There are a few little guys, but keep whisking around. And then it says to add salt and the water. Okay, so salt. How much salt do I need? Salt. Just a quarter teaspoon, which is a little more than a pinch for sure. So a quarter teaspoon of salt. So I'm adding the salt, and then it says to add the salt and add the water. Okay, so here's where I got a little creative. It says to add some cold water. And initially I took some cold water, put it in this little measuring cup, or not so little, and I stuck it in the fridge. And I said, hell no, hell no. I'm not gonna do that. That sounds really boring. So because this choc tea is infused with the delicious flavors of passion fruit, what I did was I took a little package of hibiscus flowers that I got from the health food store, the bulk department. Let me show them to you. They're dried organic hibiscus flowers. Here, let me turn the camera around so you could see. Look at those. Aren't those gorgeous? See? Hibiscus flowers. They smell very beautiful, like a flower, of course. And they're really nice and dried. So I took them about a tablespoon, and I made some homemade hibiscus tea. See? Look at how beautiful this is. Look at the color in that tea. This is homemade hibiscus tea. Isn't that gorgeous? And then I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, wow, that'd be really good iced over a splash of vodka. Vodka, organic vodka, of course. But anyway, so instead of the cold, plain, boring water, I'm going to use some freshly brewed, strong hibiscus tea. Why? Because I want my chocolate to be infused, my chocolate sauce to be infused with hibiscus tea flavor, hibiscus flavor. So I need to measure out, I'll angle the camera, I need to measure out a 1/4 cup. And the hibiscus has been in the refrigerator. I made the tea, obviously it was hot, and then I poured the rest in this little glass cup and I stuck it in the fridge. So now I need to measure out a 1/4 cup, which is right about there. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna save the rest of this and I'm gonna eat it later, or I'm gonna drink it later. Actually, I'm gonna have some now. Oh, that's good. It's not flavored with anything. No sugar, no honey, no nothing. It's just plain hibiscus tea. So then it says to add the cold water, or in this case, hibiscus tea. and bring it to a boil over medium-high heat. Okay, so that's probably medium-high heat. I'm gonna add the tea now. Now, here's the thing. The thing is, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you can't see that. What the hell's the point of me having this little video if you can't see what the hell's going on? Apologize for that. So look, so see how the whisk, this awesome little kitchen tool, is blending it nicely? That's what we want. So, it says to boil it over medium to medium-high heat. All right, and I'm gonna scrape the sides a little bit because some of the powder's on the sides and you wanna get that too. So, but here's the other catch about that. As I hold the phone and try not to stick it too close to my face, too far away, down here. But anyway, medium-high heat. The other catch is that I thought, okay, I wanna do it a little bit different. So, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. So, in addition to using hibiscus, fresh hibiscus brewed tea in place of the water, I'm gonna add a dash of, I was gonna add a dash of cinnamon, but I ran out of it because I use a lot of organic cinnamon. So that said, forget that. I was gonna do pumpkin spice, but that didn't sound good all of a sudden. But I am gonna add a dash of cayenne pepper. Yeah, why? Because it's gonna give it like a little bite, a little spice. After all, chocolate is traditionally a Aztec, Mayan, therefore Mexican taste treat. So why not give it a little spice? I am going to turn the heat down just a little bit because that was kind of high. So I'm going to turn it down to actually a medium low. And then I'm just going to take this organic cayenne cinnamon. You can get it at any good health food store. And you got to take it out rather, well, I have to take it out slowly because I've spilled them before. And I don't want to put too much because I don't want to overwhelm myself, my taste buds, or anybody else's that I gladly share this with. So just like a little sprinkle. See that? Voila. Can you see that? Can you see that? Yeah, a little sprinkle there. And I'm going to stir it again. All right, so it says, now, I better put this away. What's going to happen is the chocolate has started out thin, but now that it's cooking, it's starting to thicken up a little bit. So that's it. I'm going to turn it even lower. I'm going to turn it all the way on low. Because what's going to happen is that it says here, I'm looking at the instructions, the directions here while I'm chatting with you. It says, you can see that. It says to reduce the simmer for about 30 seconds and then to remove from heat. Oops, left it too long. So I'll remove it from the heat. It's fine. And then it says to let it cool and then add the vanilla. So vanilla flavor. So vanilla I have here, organic vanilla. And 2/3 of a teaspoon, so 1.5. So, okay, that's about this much. So let me get everything ready. And why? Why do I want to get everything ready? Because, see, I'm not watching the camera again. Were you like staring at my chest? Oh God, I need a good laugh. I need to be able to laugh at myself every once in a while and not take myself so seriously. Because shit, man, sometimes I take myself so seriously it gets really intense, even for me. So anyway, it was good to laugh at myself. So look, I just want you to see that. It's not on a heat anymore. It's just kind of sitting there hanging out. Okay? Let me see. See that? Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. All right, so what's going to happen now is that's going to start to thicken up as it sits there all by its lonesome. And now what I'm going to do, look, see. You got it, brothers and sisters. My ingredients for the guacamole. So let me put the camera down here and then angle it up a little bit with this trusty tripod. And then I'm going to show you what I have. A mixing bowl, my trusty favorite glass mixing bowl. Cutting knife, aka a chef's knife, nice and long blade. Pretty sharp, needs to be sharpened. A little side dish of some corn tortilla chips for the guacamole, of course. And then I have just garlic powder, plain old garlic powder, organic from Sprouts. You can use garlic salt, but I prefer garlic powder. And then I have obviously some, well, it's not obvious to you, but I'll show you. It's Himalayan salt that's going to get cracked in there. And then a green onion that I've already trimmed. I've rinsed it, patted it dry, and trimmed it. I have a small lime. You can use a lemon if you don't have lime for the juice. And then I have 2 avocados. I was going to make 3. Maybe. Let me see what I have here. 1, 2. Told you I had a lot of avocados left over. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to make 3 because I love guacamole so much that I'm going to probably put some on my fish for lunch on top and then have leftovers. And then I have some fresh organic cilantro that I had just trimmed and stuck in a water jar so it keeps it more vibrant and fresh. And then in addition, and last but not least, a little bit of salsa that I got from Mother's Market. It's organic salsa. So what's the first thing to do? Check the chocolate. Chocolate looks great. So the first thing you do is you get a spoon. Hold on one second. Okay, I'll show you why. Remember I showed you this last night. Let me angle the camera down now, okay? So let's get down and dirty. Or maybe not dirty, but let's just get down to business here. I trust that's going to stay there. If not, we'll find out. So, once again, you just want to cut it in half like so. Very carefully. I'm going slow. This knife is sharp. And I've been known to cut myself in the kitchen. Then you twist. Boom. Ah, look. See? Sometimes you get avocados with the black stuff. That's okay. I'm glad I have 3. We're just going to trim around it. Okay? I like to pop the stem off the top only because it seems easier for me anyway to cut them in half because I start at the top. So just gently coming all the way around like that. Twisting. Beautiful. Nice avos. No black spots. Or shall I say dark spots? No dark spots. Because if I say black spots, that means I'm indicating black is bad. And I don't believe that to be the case. No dark spots. This is actually, to me, the most beautiful avocado I've seen in a long time. Look at all that wholesome, healthy, beautiful, good, fat, yummy, creamy, rich goodness. Okay, so then now, remember this? Angle up a little bit more for now. You just take the knife and slowly, carefully, because you got the avocado in your hand. If you're nervous and you want to do that, just put it on the ground, not on the ground, put it on the cutting board of the counter, just so, boom. So see, I popped it, and then you twist. There, see, it gets stuck right there. And then you just flip that off at the end of the cutting board. Okay, so pop it out. Quick little boop. Twist with your wrist, get the knife in there, and then you just twist it. That one was a little harder to get out, only because this avocado is a little firmer. But that's cool. And then here's what I do. Just to make it easier, I just cut inside like that. Why making it easier? Because if I could scoop the whole damn thing out like this, I showed you last night. Sticking the spoon in there at one end, holding it firmly on the bottom, and then just scooping all the way out. Look at that. Then you can make well, yeah, here. With something like this, you can make an oops. I'll clean that up later. You could make an avocado bowl or a salad. You can fill it with some yummy goodness like some wild-caught shrimp salsa or something. But anyway, I'm trying not to step on that piece that I dropped. So there's that. But I'm going to cut it up a little bit because it makes it easier to mush. Okay? So just kind of chop it a little bit. And this one is a firmer one. All right, so anyway, where was I? Back with my knife, I just make a few slits in it like that across, and then like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. I do them all first. There's a little bit of dark coloring. Scoop that out. So once again, see? Very gently. This is actually not a good idea to use a big knife like this. This is wiser. This little tiny paring knife, see? People don't understand the importance of having the proper utensil in the kitchen. Sure, everything will end up one way or another, but when you have the proper utensil, it makes everything a lot easier and more functional. All right, so let me scoop these in here first, get them in there. So we have them all in there. We, me, myself, and I. My 3 best friends. Of course, it's nice to have others outside of that triad, and I definitely do. But it's nice to be able to enjoy and love my own experience of myself. Man, it's been such a freaking journey getting to this point, you know. What is that, you ask inquiringly? Getting to this journey for me means this healing stage in my life. Hold on a second. Please keep an eye on the avocado while I get a paper towel and rinse my hands for a second. But anyway, and pick up this mushed piece of avocado on the floor so I don't step on it and slide and break my face or something. All right, so there's that. These other 2, I'm just going to cut the dark spots out around it, and I'm going to put them on the side here. And like I said, you can eat them, but you know why? To me, they don't look appetizing. So if it doesn't look appetizing, then why would I eat it? Number 1, well, that's not true. I might. But I'll tell you what. If you see a dark spot like that, to me that means it's not very fresh. It's old. And guys, what's the purpose of eating dead, old food, right? Our food's supposed to be alive with beautiful, healthy life force energy and wellness. So that said, I'm scooping out the dark parts of this avocado because they looked old. All right. So back to this last one here. And the other thing about avocados, and once again, I'm making this guacamole dip in addition to the avocado dessert that I made last night, because I have an overabundance of avocados and I don't want them all, to ripen at the same time. And because there's a part of me that still is, I want to say, likes to be tidy and in order. Some people might say obsessive compulsive. I'm going to put these away. Actually, I'm not just going to put them away. I put them in the little compost pile there. Okay, so you see that? All that avocado that I just scooped out and chunked out. That's approximately 3 medium to large size avocados. Here's the easy part. The easy peasy part. 1 second. I realized I need a fork. So, the easy peasy part is this. Throwing these little minimal ingredients in there. Pretty much, you don't really throw them in, but, and once again, if you don't have a lime, you can use a lemon. You don't want to use a lot. You just want to use enough, like maybe half of this. This was a tiny lime. It's actually getting old, so I thought I didn't want to throw it away. I could use it in a meal somehow, some way, so it did come in handy. So I'm just going to take some, and I'm going to squeeze a little bit in here. And once again, I can use my fingers like this and just squeeze, but then why not take a fork like this, poke it in the center, and twist it, right? And then you twist and you squeeze at the same time with your other hand. Pretend like you're making a cocktail for a margarita. I bet you if you were doing that, you'd really put some power into it. Oh, am I projecting my own self? Probably. I do that often. So anyway, and then the rind is good too. So that's the juice of a half of a lime, all right? So let me move this out of the way, put that over here, rinse off again, because now I'm gonna go to the next item. The next item on this list was the green onion. So camera, find your spot. So all you do is just, if you don't like the white in it, you don't have to put it in. I kind of prefer a little bit of both. So all you do is carefully, slowly, well, carefully anyway, and that's pretty slow considering how fast professional chefs hustle. You just want to slice the green onion thinly. And if you like it chunkier,
If you like your food chunkier and your green onions, then chunk it up. Make thicker slices. I kind of like them in between super, super thin, like mandolin thin, and thick. So not too thin for me, not too thick. Kind of like my men. Not too thin and not too thick. Oh, geez. Anyway, so make it all the way to the bottom. There. And then you take this portion. Oops, I lost a piece here. These green onions, and you toss them in there in the bowl with the rest of the avocados, okay? Watch. Mira, mira, look, look, see that? So I just tossed them in there. See the green onions? And then, sorry about the camera angles. I tell you, one of these days I will have a professional camera crew. They will be at my beck and call. All right, so here you go. What's next? I'm gonna add a little bit of salsa. Now, I'm gonna say it. My mother and grandmothers and great-grandmothers, bless their hearts, bless their souls, are probably flipping in their graves right now. Why? ¿Por qué? Why? Why is she serving salsa pre-made from a store? Well, because I was lazy, okay? So this is pre-made salsa like I shared earlier. And it's medium. It's not mild, it's not hot, it's medium. So I'm just gonna stick my spoon in here like so, and I'm gonna get about maybe 1 heaping tablespoon. Actually, maybe 2, because I do like a little bite. In the back of my neck. Oh God. So I'm in rare form today, which is kind of good because I've been slightly distracted with other things. And then, keeping it simple again, I'm just taking that organic garlic salt and I'm sprinkling it in. And if you really need to measure it, I don't know, maybe you want to start with like 1/8 of a teaspoon, because if you're not a garlic lover, I am, although I don't eat it as often, then it might be too strong or too pungent, especially if you have a date in line. You don't want to have too much garlic unless they eat it too. Oh, last thing I forgot. So I'm going to pull some of these sprigs off here of the cilantro in a jar. And I don't know, probably about 4 or 5. And then you just rip them off at the bottom. Now here's the thing about cilantro. The cool thing about cilantro is that cilantro it's very healthy for you. It also helps remove heavy metal toxins from the body. I mean, obviously you need a whole shitload, but when you implement and add stuff like this into your diet, then it helps you be healthier. I'm not going to get rid of the stems. Some people might. The reason why I don't want to is because I feel that a lot of the nutrients are in the stems. Any kind of stems or skin. So I'm going to keep the stems. If the stems bother you and you don't want them stuck between your teeth, although the cilantro will probably do that anyway, then you just trim them off. Okay, so you just want to, let me stir the chocolate. Ooh, nice. Okay, so you just kind of rough chop it like that, and then you take the rest like so, carefully with that knife, and you flick them like this into the bowl. All right, so I've got it now. Look at, have all my favorite ingredients: avocados, salsa, cilantro, green onions, garlic powder, and sea salt or Himalayan salt. So what else am I missing? Anything else? I think not. Oh, the little bit of lime juice. Yeah, a little bit of lime juice. You can use lemon juice, like I said earlier. And the other thing is when you put some citrus in there, it's good because it keeps the avocados from turning brown, turning discolored, okay? So it keeps them fresher looking. So that's the main reason why you put them in there. So then I'm gonna mix them up like this, and I can do one of two things. I can just keep mixing it, beat the crap out of it until it gets to the consistency that I want. Or I can use, where is it? I'll find it. Hold on. I could use one of these, like a potato masher, right? But I gotta tell you, my grandmothers didn't use a freaking potato masher to make guacamole. That's probably for the Irish and their mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna use the spoon, or knock the camera phone against the cabinet. Or you can use what's it called? A fork. But it's kind of nice with the spoon because it allows me to kind of chunk it up or smush up some of the chunks. Okay, like the side of the spoon I'm using. But I'm also mixing at the same time. And then I can't forget my salt. Salt. So I'm just going to crack some salt in there. And the cool thing about something like this too is that you really have to taste it. You know, what's missing? Is it salty enough? Is it too salty? Do I need to add more avocado? Is it spicy enough? How about the garlic? Is the garlic mild or is it really too strong? You have to taste it, but see how nicely that's mixing up? You don't need a potato masher or a freaking food processor. You just use good old elbow grease and a lot of love. A lot of love from the grandmothers, the ancestors. They are with me overseeing this production right now. And I trust they're very pleased. Okay, so where's my fork? I want to do a taste test. Fork. Where are you? Okay, I'm going to do a taste test first. Okay. That's very tasty. I personally want a little more kick, so I'm going to add another tablespoon of that medium organic salsa. And I'm going to stir it up one last time. And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt because the salsa is going to dull the salt flavor a little bit. That's all. Okay, so there's that. Oops. And I'm going to guess based on my experience in the kitchen, probably about, I don't know, 6 to 8 grains of salt. And then just mix it up again. One last time. All right. So, almost done. All right, now, the thing is ooh, let me show you something. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I knew there was a reason why I put it up there. Okay, so here we have the big mixing bowl full of guacamole, right? Not very pretty, although it's rather delicious tasting. So I take one more bite here. But what you don't want to do, I'm going to add one more splash of garlic powder. I told you, when you're in the kitchen, you got to play and you got to taste. Don't be shy. Kind of like with the good lover. Oh, plain and tasty. Oh my God, Patricia, where's this going? I guess my hormones must be shifting or something, and it's playing itself out in the kitchen. Well, they say our two biggest attachments are food and sex. Well, this is the food part. The sex part, it'll come. But anyway, okay, so I forgot to tell you something. You want to save one or maybe two, I just use one, of the avocado seeds, the avocado pits. Why is that? Because you're going to use it for part of the garnish, okay? So literally I went over to my compost heap and I bucket and I pulled one out. And I'll show you why. Because now that you have this beautiful, delicious tasting guacamole, you're going to take it, assuming you're hosting a nice dinner party or a Mexican food, whatever. Hold on a second. You're going to take it and you're going to put it in a smaller, more presentable bowl. Now, if I had some really cute Mexican style dishes, that's what I would use. but right now, unfortunately, I don't. So I'm just using this cute little glass bowl. And truth be told, I just realized something. The glass, this size glass bowl, see the depth of it? It's probably about, I don't know, 3 inches deep. It's really not a great idea, you heard it here, to serve guacamole in a deeper bowl, because people are going to stick their fingers in it and it's going to get kind of messy. Not their fingers in the guac, but in the area of the bowl. And then you take your leftover avocado pit and you just plop it right there in the center. And then you can do, you can maybe go back to the sprigs of cilantro and put a couple of them around. Why not, right? For shits and giggles. What else are you gonna do? Actually, after I do this, I'm gonna finish up the chocolate sauce and drizzle it over my slice of alternative Samoa Girl Scout cookie pie. And then I'm gonna eat some of that. And then I'm gonna go to the dump. Take all my trash to the dump, because it has accumulated, the trash has accumulated with all these winter storms. So, look at that. Look at how pretty that is, right? Yeah. Now, wasn't that freaking simple? Very simple. Very, very simple. Okay, so back to my kitchen counter over here where the other recipe is, and the reason why the other recipe, meaning the pie, is because I'm going to take the chocolate sauce. Let me just show you here what I have. See, there's the homemade guacamole. I'll bring my chips over in a minute. 1 second here. And then we're going to do a taste test together, but not right now, because I still have to finish up the sauce. And then I'm going to take that sauce, I'm going to cut a piece, and I'm going to drizzle it on the pie. So what happens now? It says here, back to the chocolate sauce. Remember, today's a double bang for your buck video. I taught you how to make a homemade chocolate sauce, which I doctored up with my creative treats. And then I also showed you how to make a homemade guacamole, my version anyway, okay? So let's finish up the saucer. So now all I have to do is bring the organic vanilla and mix it into the sauce. So I think it said almost a whole teaspoon. Oh, you know what? That's freaking perfect. Who would have thunk it? That's perfect. All right, hold on a second. Let me just rinse that off. And then blend it like this one last time, so that beautiful vanilla flavor essence gets all stirred up in there. And you can't see it, but some of that chocolate, because it's been sitting, has been stuck to kind of the side. But that's okay. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. So let me take you over here to the kitchen counter here. And then, hold on. I've got too many things on my mind right now. Stare at that for a moment, if you would. I'll be right back. All right. So, here's what we're going to do. First of all, I'm going to taste my, no, I'm not going to taste it yet. Guacamole put aside. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this beautiful dessert that I made last night. Remember, the Girl Scout, the Samoa's Girl Scout cookie pie. This is a healthy, natural alternative to all the ingredients that are in the traditional Girl Scout cookies, okay? It's gluten-free, it's clean, it's organic, it's delicious. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of it. I'm going to plate it. So probably right about here. Cut a piece. The crust is hard, remember. And then right about here. So right about here. Oh boy. Oh shit, I'm just so excited about this. Look at that luscious, yummy goodness. Okay, so it's cut. And then, the next thing I'm gonna do
is I'm going to scoop a piece of it like so with my pie scooper. Oh shit, look at that. Yeah, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going to scoop it on the plate very gently. See? Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Oh, beautiful. Organic chocolate, coconut chips. Lots of love. Most importantly, the love. And then I'm going to take that chocolate sauce that I just made with the cayenne pepper and the infused hibiscus tea. And I'm just going to drizzle it like this. Oh my goodness and light. Lord have mercy. Shit. Ah. Okay, look. Who in the hell says you cannot have optimal, healthy, nutritious desserts? This is an alternative. This is made out of cacao, avocados, and what else? Honey, coconut. It's so delicious. So I just know it is. But wait a minute. So look, I just want you to see that up close and personal. I drizzled the chocolate sauce on it. Yeah, baby. But I have the rest of my ingredients, remember? My tortilla chips, my homemade guacamole. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bite of this, a little chip. Taste it. A nice scoop here. See that? Nice scoop. Mmm. Wow. That really reminds me of my childhood. The good parts of it anyway. Come on, everything has good and bad. Dark and light. Let's not kid ourselves. So this is absolutely scrumptiously delicious. And I'm scooping out another piece here because part of me wants another piece of this big fat chunky piece of avocado. Mm-hmm. Mm. So now let's go back here. Right, here's that leftover pie that I'm going to stick in the fridge and then maybe even freeze it because I guarantee I ain't going to eat that whole thing all by myself. And here's the end result. Avocado, cacao, coconuts. This is my alternative dessert. I made that homemade dressing or chocolate sauce. So now it's time to finish this up and say goodbye. So how do I always finish? By tasting it. So thank you, Heavenly Father, Blessed Mother, great benevolent Spirit of the universe, for blessing me with all this yummy goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Deep gratitude, deep, deep gratitude.